Okay.
Oh, call the meeting order. Everybody's here except Dean and Meyer. Start with pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Additions to the agenda.
Yep, 2 additions to the agenda. Number 4 will be the new next 2 years of fiscal year 26 and 27 for our maintenance and operations grant from MnDOT Aeronautics. And number 5 will be discussion and action on the Northwest Gas Joint Powers Board appointments.
Is there welcome to approve agenda? So move. Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Alright,
Motion. Ooh. There's the meeting minutes from August 18th. Questions or comments on those? Hearing none, I'm saying approved as printed. There's the claims. There's one sheet I saw in the back, right?
Yes.
Any questions on those claims?
the one thing that we paid for the pool strainer, is that one strainer?
What vendor is it?
It's like 15 grand.
Horizon,
That was an insurance thing, wasn't it?
15,000. If there was like a strainer with a basket and some other pieces to it that, yeah.
I just seen that, I was like, holy moly.
Yeah, it was budgeted for 2025.
Okay.
Oh, that wasn't the insurance thing?
No, that was the pump cover.
Yeah, I double checked that, but that is one component.
Okay.
But that is the first time we've done that in 25 years. So that'll be 15 grand every 15 to 20 years type of thing moving forward. Not a regular.
And not that it's a thing or anything, but I mean, why are like the umbrella frames?
Those were insurance.
Right. Okay, so that's why we're buying them now instead of at the beginning of the year,
Right.
because of the same thing. There was another bill in there for.
Well, the Horizon, I think we did a long time ago, and they just sent us the bill. Like, I think that was done
Just
before the
questioning
season
timing
started.
on it. That
We did just get the fun valve frames because they were damaged mid-season.
Yep.
And it was an insurance claim. So
Okay. Nope, that's all I was wondering.
Anything else? Motion to approve the bills.
Second.
First and second, all in favor, say aye.
All right.
just under notices of communications, the kind of community leader powwow, we'll call it, did get scheduled for the 15th of September. So I'll be going to that. Joe from the school will be there. Luke will be there. And then Commissioners Wolbert and Wellgraven and the county administrator as well. And that this is stemming from their 2-day retreat that they had about a month and a half or so ago, and it's looking to align everybody's hopes and dreams moving forward here in Murray County. So that's I think the tentative agenda is on the back there. So yeah, I think Myron and I will both be going to that for sure meetings.
So this was just an option means and they decided.
Yep, today she sent out an email that everybody that responded, the 15th is the final date. So just wanted to mention that. That's all I had under notices of communications. Pending the petition to the PUC for Northwest Gas will not be filed this week, obviously, because we're discussing some things with that later on in the agenda. We have a public hearing that's been called for the 15th. There'll be some, we just had that one thing in the cannabis business ordinance draft to get full board weigh in on that about the second licensure issue. Basically, should it be automatically granted? Should it not be automatically granted, or just automatic no? Basically, is what that came down to. And then our budget workshop is scheduled for next Thursday, the 11th at 5:30. And you all have in your packets the draft that, assuming nothing changes between now and then, which I do not expect it to, will be what we talk about next Thursday, also including the comp utility rates for water and sewer from kind of the surrounding area. So that'll be a big point of discussion next week as well. So that's all I had under pending. But
Unfinished business.
nope, I'm new.
On the new business, there's a recommendation to remove our newest officer from probation.
Yeah, you can see the memo from Jeremy there. He was gone on Navy drill, so got this to me that evening after the agendas went out. But Jonathan's done really well in FTO, and a recommendation to remove him off of probationary status and installed as a full-time officer. And you see that Jeremy wishes to do a swearing-in ceremony at the 15th meeting.
Yeah.
Motion to approve that.
So moved. Motion and a
Second.
second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passed. Fourth item then was the
Grant agreement for our airport M&O maintenance and operations for the next 2 fiscal years, 26 and 27. State operates on a July to June fiscal year. And so the meat and potatoes of this is that the highlighted portion on page 2 there, $15,631.46 per year. That's the max. We always hit the max. For reference, for I believe all of my time here previously, it was 15,569. So we did get a bit of an increase for fiscal year 26 and 27. Thank you, state of Minnesota. So recommending approval of resolution 0902-2025, which enables Myron and myself to execute that grant agreement.
I would so move.
second. First and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. The fifth item is a joint powers agreement.
Yeah, so the Northwest Natural Gas and the city will be filing a joint petition to the PUC for the PUC to bless the sale of the Slayton portion of the gas distribution system to us to start our own municipal natural gas company. And so same statutory process leading up to this point as we exercised for the electric, but because this has been both parties at the table, in a friendly way with Northwest Natural Gas, now it is different because whereas we're in a contested case hearing with Excel for the electric, this would not be a contested case. This is just hopefully rubber stamp from the PUC to say, yep, we've reviewed all the documentation. You had your vote. Here's the resolutions. You had an arm's length negotiation with Northwest Natural Gas about purchase price, and you have all your ducks in a row of maintenance and operations and billing, and so on and so forth. Leading up to that, the firm representing Northwest Natural Gas wants to have the joint powers board of Northwest Natural Gas of Murray County, because that's technically who it's a separate LLC then Northwest Natural Gas is the parent company. So Northwest Natural Gas of Murray County is governed by its Joint Powers Board, which is 2 representatives from the city of Avoca, Curry, Dovry, Fulda, and us. In my 13 years here, they have never met. You can see the agreements from 1994 and 2021. They have hours listed in there and how meetings are called. So the goal here is for the Joint Powers Board to approve a resolution also saying, yes, we think this is a good idea, and to include that in the petition filing to the PUC so that there's basically as much documentation as possible with our vote and the discussions with Northwest Gas and the Joint Powers Board resolution that says everybody's on the same page here. It will certainly be a pro to the other communities that are representatives in the JPA because it will open up that customer count in that territory as well once we take over those 650 customers from Northwest Natural Gas and start our municipal. So those other cities, Curry, Dover, and Fulda could stand to gain some natural gas connections that they don't have right now because of moratoriums. The action at this point would be because we have never met that right now we don't have any appointed members to the Joint Powers Board. And so I would ask the council to formally appoint Blake and myself. I talked through with Rachel, this doesn't appear as if there's a specific provision of whether it could be appointed or elected representatives from the city. So we don't believe it has to be 2 council people or mayor, that it could be the clerk and elected. But the logic, from my point of view, is Blake and I have been kind of the point people all along, so that we could just do it. But if anybody, that's open for discussion, of course, at this point. But the action would be 2 people appointed to that board. She wants to call a meeting as soon as possible, potentially even next week, and get that resolution in front of them to be hopefully approved.
So I'm seeing that the original, I suppose, Joint Powers
94 version.
agreement that was from 1994, which indicates it was in effect for 25 years, which is coming past on that one. And then the new one is it's an unsigned copy by, well, unless there's something more that's not.
There's not.
So is it even in effect anymore? My question.
Well, their representation seems to think that it is. So, but yeah, she sent the 2021 agreement to me this past week on Friday. That is the first time that I've seen that. We didn't get that back in 2021. I'm not sure why.
I mean, I don't have any objection to this
They're
process.
because they're the only ones that have paint.
Yeah, and we're not the only ones that didn't sign the 2021 either. I mean,
I don't have, any objection to this process, but I'm thinking,
this kind of got printed weird, but Dovry and Curry signed, but Avoca and us did not sign that 2021 agreement. I don't.
Yeah, as long as I've been on the council, I don't remember this coming across our desk, I guess.
I think
It would not surprise me if the last time they met was right around 1994 when the thing got started, because all of the folders found it has the original signed 1994 version, and then there's some correspondence after that because it was all Gorums and then the subsidiary or whatever. But that's it. There's nothing after that mid 90s in that folder that I have.
I mean, I don't have a problem moving this forward, but do you think the other communities that are involved in this document are going to be able to do what we're doing tonight and put representatives together as long as everybody's still in agreement about this board?
That's what I was thinking, how fast this can all be happened within, you don't know.
Curry doesn't meet until,
Right.
you know,
There's also a question of, because like in our bylaws and in statute, the mayor is allowed to appoint people to commissions and boards. So, you know, is that applicable specifically for this joint powers board? I don't know. I'm not a city attorney.
Right.
They could give it a whirl. If not, then they would just have to wait until there's a formal vote. You know, my non-legal opinion would probably lean towards saying no, the mayor would not be able to do that, because I do know that in all the league correspondence in my years here and different statutory updates, just things that I've seen come across the email, joint powers boards are pretty heavily regulated by the state, and what you can do and what you can't do and who gets to be a member and what's not. So there probably should be a vote of each of those cities to formally appoint their representatives.
And who's on the task of contacting these other communities?
That email there, that went to everybody. And so Rachel is the one in charge of
Okay.
doing that. Just
Right.
as long as everything's on the up and up as far as not needing two council members or a mayor and a council member, city administrator can be a representative. That being said, I make a motion that Josh,
if we wanted to that point, which is a good one, if we wanted to hedge the bet, so to speak, we could say like you or Myron could be your case, could be an alternate, you know, if I'm not allowed to, if something
Right.
comes up.
doesn't matter, Kate or I is.
I think she's planning on calling it for like during the day sometime. I would imagine it might be a little difficult for you. Please.
I can be the alternate, sorry.
Sorry, Robin.
Nope. Alright, what day are they, well, we don't know.
We don't know when it means
So I'll be gone through Wednesday,
next week.
next week.
I doubt it'll happen.
Okay, so, yeah, after that, it's fine, but yeah, so, yeah, I'll make a motion that, pending everything, Josh and Blake are the representatives for the board, and I'll be the alternate.
Second motion.
First and a second, all in favor, say aye.
Alright,
That's it.
With no further business, is there a motion to adjourn?
so move,
First and second, all in favor, say
right?
aye. Motion. Meeting adjourned 6:20, 18:20.